Hi, it's Gordon Fittle Climber and welcome to the instruction video for my online Mounjaro click count calculator. If you don't have the calculator, you'll find it at this address and there's a link in the description. Please mind the warning that this calculator is for Mounjaro quick pens, the multi-use quick pens, and if you choose to use your quick pen in any way other than the manufacturer's recommended method, you do so at your own risk. This tool is based on publicly available figures and is not medical advice. So let me take you through the operation. At its most basic, the calculator allows you to enter in a pen size, enter a desired dose, decide whether you're using the fifth dose or not, click on calculate, and it will tell you the number of clicks or units and the total number of injections, divided into the injections that will be done in the normal fashion using the quick pen and the quick pen needles, and ones you'll need to use a syringe for because they're part of the golden dose. It should be noted, clicks and units are the same, so in this example 40 clicks would be 40 clicks with the pen, but it would also, if you were using a U100 insulin syringe, which is marked in units, it would be 40 units. The calculator will also let you put in a cost. It will tell you a cost per week and an approximate saving. Please note, the number of injections is a rough estimate based on the average user. It's possible you'll have slightly more or slightly less left in the syringe after using all your normal and full syringe injections. Regardless, it's likely at some point you'll have less than a full dose of liquid left to extract with the syringe. That's where the partial injection helper comes in. So if you take, for example, you're using a 7.5 milligram pen to extract 5 milligrams, you can see there are 6 normal injections and 1.5 syringe injections. So once you use the syringe for your 7th injection, you'll have liquid left, but less than a full dose. The half is an estimate. Half in this case would be roughly 20 units. At this point you have two options. Firstly, ignore what's left and dispose of the syringe because the next step is too complicated to work out. Secondly, inject what's left and then take the remainder of your desired dose from the first injection of the next pen. What you do depends on 3 things: the size of the next pen, what your desired dose is, and how much liquid is actually left in the pen. So the first thing you need to do is extract what's left. It could be more or less than expected. In this example, half would be 20 clicks. However, imagine that when we extracted it, it's only just over 15, let's say 16 units. If your next dose is the same size dose from the same size pen, all you would do is subtract this 16 from the 40, meaning that you would take an injection of 24 clicks. So basically you're taking 2 injections, one with a syringe from the old pen, one with clicks from the new pen, and in total you'd be taking 5 milligrams. If however your next pen is a larger pen, or you're taking a larger dose, the calculation's a bit more complex. This is where the helper comes in. With the current pen and dose entered, type in how many units were actually extracted. In this case 16, and the box beside will tell you how many milligrams that actually was. In this case 2. So of your 5 milligrams you've injected 2. So you now need to inject 3 more milligrams. So if your next pen is 10 milligrams, instead of putting 5 milligrams in, put the 3 that you're looking for and it will tell you how many clicks. In this case, 18 clicks. So if you take your 16 units from the syringe and your 18 clicks from the new syringe, you'll have taken 5 milligrams in total. From then on, the number of projected injections is going to be inaccurate because you've already taken some of a dose. So you would just keep using the pen as normal until it stopped working because you'd used too many clicks, and then start using the syringe. Again, extracting a full dose where you could, and once you've done the full dose, repeating the same process for a partial dose. I must repeat that if you feel like this is all too complex, what you should do is once you've taken your last full dose from the syringe, you should just dispose of the pen. It's not worth risking taking the wrong amount. The calculator also has an advanced mode, which allows you to consider different dosing schedules. This mode should only be used if you're comfortable using the pen in a way that's not advised by the manufacturer and is looking at changing from injecting every 7 days. If you turn this switch on, it gives you different dosing schedules, the default being 7. With this option selected, the results will show you how long the pen will last and will tell you how much Tirzepatide is in your system, the high being not long after your first injection, the low being the day before. your next injection. How you use this depends on what you're trying to achieve and is out with the scope of this instruction video. However, it will be to either generally increase the dose or to mitigate the problem of appetite suppression failing towards the end of the week. So if you increase either the dose or increase the frequency and click calculate, you'll see that the high and low changes. So it's possible to either generally increase the amount in your system or keep the high the same but increase the low, getting rid of the lull towards the end of the week. This is also useful for split dosing, which is normally something done to avoid side effects. I've also added the 10-day and 14-day option, which is the kind of thing you would probably want to look at when you are tapering to come off the drug. Please mind the warning that this calculator is for Mounjaro quick pens, the multi-use quick pens, and if you choose to use your quick pen in any way other than the manufacturer's recommended method, you do so at your own risk. This tool is based on publicly available figures and is not medical advice. Thanks for watching the instructions. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll be informed. Thank you.